welcome to Benevolent Plum Tarot. My name is Jess. I have my sister here today with me, Lena.
And it's great to be here today.
So we're going to do something a little different. It's going to be a picker card, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to identify what karmic cycles have been closing out for you, because there's been a lot of karmic cycles and lessons closing out, especially in the month of July 2020 and going into August 2020. So yeah, we're going to take a look, see if we can identify some lessons and see if there's any inspiration or advice from the universe to help you close some of that stuff out. We all have them. We all have stuff to close out.
Right? And if you're trying to elevate beyond what you've been doing in a cyclical manner, those things that you've been stuck doing over and over, this is the perfect time to break that cycle. The perfect time. So let's figure out what that cycle is and break it.
Break that shit. All right, so we have 3 groups to choose from. For group 1, we have this little camel. For group 2, we have these little lovers here. For group 3, we have this parrot. So make sure to take a couple of deep breaths, check in with your intuition before picking, and we will see you at your chosen group. Hello, group 1. Welcome to your reading. So the first thing we're going to do is pick a couple of oracle cards just to see if we can get a base idea of what kind of karmic cycles you're closing now.
So these have been shuffled beforehand. Wow, okay. I keep the waters pure and I give blessings.
Wow, so I feel like this keeping the waters pure is really about integrity more than purity, because sometimes I feel like that can come across as a little bit weird when I've read this type of card before. It's about integrity, right? And it's about intention and having a clean, pure, and kind intention in all that you do. And then for the giving blessings, maybe this is more or less, it's not necessarily, for what I'm getting isn't that it's necessarily like selfish or something like that, but more rather holding too tightly to your blessings, to your ideas of blessings and what might be coming in for you. So maybe one of your cycles is to let loose a little bit and to not grasp so tightly what you might be trying to bring into yourself, or bring in for yourself, sorry.
I think it's really interesting that these two came up earlier when I looked at this deck. And I've shuffled it twice since then. So it's kind of a trip.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, so I keep the waters pure. What an interesting thing to say. So I'm trying to really identify what the karmic cycle is we're looking at here. And
I feel like this card does speak to me as well. I feel like if you're looking for clarity and other people are looking for clarity, if you are being clear with who you are, being honest, presenting yourself as what you mean and what you're going for, then there's going to be a grasp on clarity for everyone.
Oh yes, authenticity.
Right.
Authenticity. Well, we're gonna pull a few tarot cards and see what else we can get here for moving forward and closing this out. Let's see. 7 of Cups, Hanged Man, and the Empress. So what I'm feeling here is really like a change of perspective coming in for you. So as I was saying before, maybe, you have these ideas of some blessings that you would like to, come to fruition, or maybe you don't. But what I'm seeing here is that it really takes a little bit of a change of perspective in how you view the world. Even stepping into a different energy, and then this universe is going to step in line with you rather than you chasing these blessings. Step into the energy of receiving, like this Empress here. We also have this 7 of Cups, which to me is just many options and many blessings just waiting for you, actually. But yeah, a change of perspective right now is kind of what I'm looking at.
Okay. And what I'm getting here is that you have some duality here, and you're going to have to use your intuition. You're listening to your intuitive side. This is your fire, your drive to move forward towards things. And there's potential here to have a new beginning towards what you truly desire, what you want to go for. So,
yeah, absolutely. Bringing in that new beginning. And that's what I feel like it's all about right now. Closing out these cycles and bringing in this like fresh new beginning with a space, like opening up the space to receive these freaking blessings that are coming to you.
Right? So if you're keeping the waters pure and you're choosing between these dualities, you are going to reach that fresh new start, like where you're really going someplace as soon as you focus on one direction.
Yeah, like get that intention clear, right?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's saying.
Clear intentions, clear perspective.
Especially with here between the Hanged Man and the Empress, like there's a possibility for stagnance before you really reach in and go for where your passion is.
And that Empress is a creator. You know, she's a very creative energy and a nurturing energy. So it's almost as if you're called to take part in creating, you know, your own blessings and nurturing them to fruition, nurturing these ideas and nurturing these blessings down to earth into the physical. All right, so let's get a couple of oracle cards here for you. Tolerance and meditation. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, hers makes sense.
That ties in perfectly to what I'm pulling.
So let me go ahead and read this card really quick. Tolerance. You appreciate other points of view because because you sense the love in everyone. Okay, you appreciate other points of view. That's that perspective change. That's what that is. That's being open and willing to see other perspectives, and in doing so, you change your own perspective. Yep. And then this meditation, I mean,
right, with
self-explanatory,
meditation, like I said, you're using your intuition to drive your direction. That's if you can't find your intuition right off the bat, meditation is absolutely the way to find what you're feeling and what you're really driven towards on a personal basis, not what other people want from you, what you feel obligated to do. You need to clear all of that out. Meditation is emptying first before you can fill that cup. You have to empty all of those expectations and find what you want.
Oh, yeah, interesting. And you can start small, too. I think sometimes people feel like, oh, meditation is this big, you know, time investment, but it doesn't have to be. You can start very small. Just try 1 or 2 minutes even, if it'll get you, like, you know, to just be in a receptive, quiet space for just a short period of time. Even that is beneficial. Okay. I'd say, right?
Right. There are so many different types of meditation, but even taking the time to recognize what is not you and pushing those out of your mind so that you have room to recognize what is you, that in itself is also meditation. It doesn't have to necessarily be clearing your mind or sitting still.
Oh, yeah, like finding discernment. Interesting. That's good. She knows a lot about meditation. I like to do lazy meditation. So let's get one of these, and then we'll read them. Do you want to get one of the manifestation cards? Sure. And then she'll close it out with another oracle card for you. But yeah, this is really interesting karmic cycle you have here. It's like, to me, it's all about just changing that perspective and being open to receive. Like, not... Okay. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I had one pop out too, but I don't know.
Take action now. Take that action. So I'll read this. I love how they match.
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be so on point here. Okay. I'm going to read mine first. Let's see. This is a clear and unequivocal message that action on your part is needed now. Manifestation is not simply a process of visioning and dreaming about your desires. When an opportunity is offered to you, you must also take action. Pay attention to the signs and move forwards fearlessly. Amazing. So I feel like part of this perspective change is letting go of those fears. Maybe some underlying fears. What would happen if your desires actually came into fruition? Do you have some small fears that you're holding on to? Something to identify and think about. And then again, taking action is also needed. You can visualize all day, which is beneficial and important, but then taking those steps forward, that has to happen at least some steps, taking a little action. And of course, you're being called to take big action, I think, right now.
Right? So much potential. So, internal dialogue, if you can believe that, it's exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. So, we all have an internal dialogue within our mind, a constant stream of inner conversation. Is your dialogue kind, supportive, and affirming, or is it critical and judgmental of both yourself and others? This card asks you to listen to your inner words and, if necessary, take steps to consciously change your language.
Thank you, universe.
There you have it.
Wow, so good. So good. I love it. All right, so that's what we are getting. I think she'll close it out with one of her beautiful oracle cards.
I didn't want to, but
I thought she's going to. Let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah, because this is such a, I feel like just the kind of the theme that we have going for you, Group 1, is kind of meditative and introspective and evolutionary, even spiritually.
So this is the Yogic Path deck by Sahara Rose. It's a really cool oracle deck. Let's see. So we got Krishna. Okay. So you'll have to excuse me. I do still have to read everything on this deck because it's exquisite. There's so many things to find in it. Let's see.
Yeah, and they're beautiful cards too.
Okay, what does it feel like to be totally enamored, raptured, and captivated with love for the divine? This is the essence of Krishna. You have entered a time where you have realized love is something so much greater than passion between two people. Instead, it is the origin of all life, where everything blossoms. You have trusted in the greater forces of the universe, and in return it supports you with its all-encompassing arms, embracing you like the stars in the sky. Continue trusting that divine is omnipresent and that you are not only part of the universe, but the entire universe exists inside of you. Krishna also reminds you that play is also a form of prayer.
Yes.
So don't take that meditation too seriously.
Happy meditation, laughing meditation. And I love walking meditation, like going out into nature and just like that's meditation for me. But yeah, really coming into that vibration of joy. And I always say this, finding that place of joy is literally bringing in your blessings. It's like being in that place, that vibration. It brings in more joy and blessings. Right? Yeah. Anything else from you?
No, I think that's a perfect wrap up.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you, Group 1. So thank you so much, and good luck closing out that nasty old karma. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Thank you. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. So, the first thing that we're going to do, is we're going to get a couple of these oracle cards, and we're going to just see if we can kind of identify what karmic cycles or lessons you may be working on closing out right now, and then get some messages from the universe to kind of inspire you or motivate you to move forward.
So let's find out where you're at. I live in truth. I follow my inner guidance.
Ooh. So I'm feeling like living in authenticity and
Your intuition.
intuition on point, trusting it. So you have intuition. Your intuition is on point. It's a matter of trusting your intuition. And the more you trust it, the more you see that your intuition is correct. Amazing. All right, so let's pull a few tarot cards, see if we can get a little more information on moving you into a space, but you're trusting your intuition and trusting your own authentic true self. Like I'm feeling like I live in truth is more than just trying to be authentic. It's like really coming into alignment with yourself. So taking the time to kind of identifying who you are deep down and what your desires are. Like I feel like our true selves are guided by our true desires. You know, where are we trying to go in life? What would bring us joy? The Empress. Page of Cups. Ooh. And Two of Swords. Okay, so right away I'm feeling like there may be some decisions that you need to make or a direction to move towards. Maybe right now you're feeling like you don't know which way to go, which way to turn. Could be you're choosing between people or between a job or just not sure where you want to go on your life's path, which direction, where you're meant to go. That's what I'm kind of feeling is where are you meant to go? You're unclear on it. But by finding that authenticity deep within and trusting your intuition, I feel like you're going to find that path very quickly here in August.
So in finding that path, sometimes it is about the journey, and this journey has been maybe difficult, and maybe you want to deny some of the things that happened. Maybe you want to pretend like some of the things that come through your mind aren't going through your mind. Maybe you're just completely silent about those things. I'm getting that for some reason. But that journey is what builds your character and your ability to grow and your ability to move past this stage in your life. So that is something to dwell on and recognize that it added to your inner guidance, and that is how you have the clarity that you have now. With the Eight of Stones here, your skills are honed over a long period of time, and that's something that when you're going, this is something that you're on the verge of a breakthrough of really on a financial status, really getting to a point that you're trying to get to. And with the Archer, that's showing me that it's time to jump on that.
Yeah, maybe take that leap in a direction.
Right, it's a fierce, fiery attitude. It's time to go.
That's action, baby.
Yeah. So follow that inner guidance. It's a matter of believing in the possibilities that you can succeed at this. You've been honing those skills already, so believe in your path.
Yeah, I think I see you're like trying to decide, but I feel like you probably know which direction you want to go. It's just a matter of trusting it. Trusting that's the path for you. What is it that you want to do? What is it that would bring you that joy? What is it that would bring you that fire every day? That's the path to follow. Don't follow the path that you think is just going to bring you the most money. It's the path that lights that fire every day and trusting it, trusting that path. We're going to grab a couple more oracle cards here for you. All right, let's see. Transformation, yes. You use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. Living in that truth, finding that awareness. There's discernment here. What's illusions and what's the truth? You're figuring that out by trusting your intuition.
Okay, and I think the first part that I was talking about, where this journey that you've been on to get here, you're finding peace. You need to find peace with with some of those aspects of the journey that have been rocky, and recognize that when you find peace in those, that's when you really grow. And then protection, I really feel that this protection is a recognition that you are connected to everything in this ether and universe, and that when you go for this, it's going to be making all of it come together.
And you're supported.
You're protected, you're supported, you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Trust it. Trust it. Yeah, so what is this karmic cycle then? I feel like it's trust. It comes down to trust, taking that leap of faith and no longer living in uncertainty and letting fear dictate you, because fear is just making you stagnant. You know, no longer being stagnant by just moving in a direction and trusting that it's going to lead you to your path, whatever path that may be. It will not be withheld from you if you make the move.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, so we're going to get one of these Art of Manifestation cards. They're beautiful. I love them. Let's see, what else do you got, universe, for group 2? Expectation.
And be your brilliant self.
So, do you want to read these first?
Okay.
You want me to read them?
Yeah, sure. So be your brilliant self. That is, okay. So be great today. Be brilliant. This card asks you to get in touch with your extraordinariness of everyday living. Go about your daily life doing everything to the very best of your ability. Be extraordinary in an ordinary way. Your brilliance will radiate into the world, creating more change than you could possibly imagine.
Yes, change, transformation, just by living in your truth and being your brilliant self. That's amazing. It's an affirmation to exactly what we have been given for you today. Be your brilliant self, and in doing so, the path will fall in line for you. I'm going to read this one to you real quick. Expectation. Expectation is a form of memory. Our past experiences color our expectations of future circumstances and outcomes. You are asked to release any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and center yourself in the infinite possibility of now. So again, trusting the path forward by releasing your expectations. You think possibly this path is going to fail, or you feel fear, or whatever it is. Release that and just trust. Make space for that trust in the universe and your own intuition.
That's right. So I'm going to close out by pulling one of my yogic cards here, the Yogic Path. I pulled out Ahimsa, so I'm going to go ahead and read this last bit to you. So, you have been observant of how your thoughts affect your actions and how your actions reflect the quality of your life. Through actively changing your internal monologue, you are manifesting a heightened state of consciousness and a new paradigm. Continue to fine-tune your inner language and to radiate compassion, joy, and peace. Even the most disciplined yogis still often look in the mirror and think negative thoughts about themselves. They get frustrated when they get stuck in traffic or speak words to a loved one that doesn't radiate pure love. These moments are your guru, reminding you of where you still need to grow. Overcoming your triggers facilitates growth. Each time you feel the voice of negativity come through, sing back to it in words of ahimsa, which is compassion. You'll quickly find these words echoed back by all those you encounter. So that really ties in perfectly.
Yes, living in truth, following that inner guidance, and then attaining that peace with that there as well. And it's such a beautiful card. Well, that's what we're getting. That's what we got for you, group 2. I know, they're beautiful. I'm going to take a look at these later more. All right, thank you, group 2. Good luck to you.
Peace.
Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So the first thing that we're going to do is pull a couple of these oracle cards, just to kind of see if we can get a baseline for what karmic cycles or lessons you might be closing out currently. possibly going into August. And we're going to get some tarot and oracles just to kind of inspire you to move forward. Let's see here.
Wowie.
I keep the waters pure.
I affirm that all life is sacred.
Ooh, interesting. So we actually got I keep the waters pure, I think for group 1, was it?
That was group 1.
For group 1. And then I affirm that all life is sacred. So maybe finding respect for every other living being around you in your life. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what to make of that yet. I'm not hearing it.
When you really find clarity and you genuinely look at the world around you, you realize that all life is sacred. It's no worse or better than you. You are equal to every living thing that is here. We are all together and dependent on each other. So I think that that's the clarity you find when you keep those waters pure.
Yes.
That's what I get from it.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. I affirm that all life is sacred. And then I keep the waters pure. So what this is to me, like Lena said, is clarity, but it's all, it's clarity in intention. Having that pure intention is what kind of rings true for me here with this card. It's not necessarily... I feel like sometimes this card can be misconstrued. I keep the waters pure. Pure intentions. Understanding where your mind's at, where your thoughts are at. What do you have in your head? Is it negative? Is it expecting negative things to happen? Or is it positive? Are your expectations in line with your desires? Okay, first card out, the world. I'm going to pull a few tarot for you.
Upside down.
And temperance. All right. So with the world here and that affirming that all life is sacred, I'm almost feeling like there may be a call here for you to acknowledge other types of people even. At first I'm thinking like animals, plants, all of this, but I'm almost feeling with the world, other types of people in the world. Kind of opening your mind to acknowledge the differences that we have, and also what similarities we have with people all the way across the world, living different lifestyles than us, and kind of finding that place of love for each and every different person and type of person, type of culture that there is. With this temperance card, let's see, what am I feeling with the temperance card? Because I feel like this is almost in line with that. Now, normally temperance would be, having patience, having a balance of elements of your life. But for me, when I'm feeling that, it's more spiritual than that. Like I'm feeling like this temperance card right now is representing almost a spiritual evolution that you're going through, which makes sense, right? Because you're kind of closing out some cycles. What is this karmic cycle you're closing? Is it that you've had maybe some fears about different types of cultures? I'm not sure if that's true or not. They may be hidden fears. They may be things that you didn't know you had, because you may feel like you have all the love in the world, and you probably do because you're a loving, beautiful individual, but maybe there's some hidden fears in there that you didn't know about, and that maybe if you look at them, it's going to just help you vibe up. All right, I'm trying to get... And there's the Emperor. So maybe it's time, too, that you've been a little bit hard and a little bit strict on yourself. Maybe it's time to be a little bit softer with yourself. This all life is sacred applies to your own life as well.
That's interesting that you say that. I'm getting that as well, that you may feel very persecuted in some of you just feel persecuted. You may be persecuting yourself or being very hard on yourself. And it might be a good goal to start looking at things with a more childlike mentality. Just enjoy your perspective. Enjoy enjoy everything around you in the way that a child would, just going out and exploring for the first time.
Yeah, that element of curiosity and excitement just about mundane day to day, right? All right, let's see. Oh, I want to pull one of these. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. What for this karmic cycle? What to just kind of clarify what we're looking at.
And so you may be changing away from the more tactile, earthbound. Like you may have been more caught up in thinking more about money or using your senses to decide what's right or wrong. And it might be that you're starting to change into a more gut-based,
heart-centered.
Yeah, heart-centered.
Heart-centered.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, leading with your heart. Leading with your heart instead of your head, right? And that makes so much sense with this emperor too, because I feel like this emperor can really be up in his head. It doesn't matter the gender here. It's just the emperor energy is up in his head. Ooh, and this is gonna go right with this spontaneity, right? Because what is that but just kind of going by the spark of life, following, leading by your heart, leading by your inner fire, leading yourself like a child would, just exploring the world. Okay, spontaneity, you move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. Yes, you've been too strict with yourself. You may have had yourself boxed in just a little bit. But what you're going to be doing now is you're going to be letting loose a little bit, being led by joy. And exactly what Lena said, being led by your heart instead of the mind, instead of these constraints of the mind. Amazing.
Right, and I got purification. I think that goes great with keeping the waters pure. Water is always purifying. And this entire change that's going on within you, that is a purification. It's moving in the right direction for you.
Yeah, and you know what water represents? Emotions. It's the emotional body, and I feel like you might have been too much in the mental body, and maybe for many years, maybe you didn't realize it. And take it as it resonates, of course. But if we're leading from the heart space, that's leading with the emotional body. That's emotional intelligence, which is what we're working on here with keeping the waters pure. And purification is all about that emotional intelligence, finding it, keeping it, learning from it, leading with it. Yeah, let's get one of these.
Well said. Okay, so I've got trust the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's trusting. Yeah. Sometimes we can strive relentlessly to make something happen and then experience huge disappointment when our efforts do not work out. Whilst action on our planet is required, if we are too determined to stay on one course only, we inadvertently block ourselves from the guidance and direction that the universe is trying to bring to us. This is the time to trust and let things happen.
Trust, yes. Trust, being spontaneous, allowing things to unfold and knowing that they're unfolding just for you as they should. And then we have some forgiveness of ourselves, right? Which is something we already touched on a little bit. When something goes wrong, even if the circumstances were out of our control or we did the very best that we could possibly do, we can still carry guilt after the event. The gift of guilt is to help us learn and to develop a conscience, not to carry as a ball and chain for the rest of our lives. Listen to the learning and forgive yourself for not being perfect. Release any guilt today. Wow. You're too hard on yourself, Group 3. You're too hard on you. It's time to let go.
I agree. And so I was thinking that this card would be, we pulled this card for Group 2 as well, just by coincidence. And I was thinking this would be appropriate for this reading, and then boom, there it was. So I'm going to read this card to you. You've been observant of how your thoughts affect your actions and how your actions reflect the quality of your life. Through actively changing your internal monologue, you are manifesting a heightened state of consciousness and a new paradigm. Continue to fine-tune your inner language to radiate compassion, joy, and peace. Even the most disciplined yogis still often look in the mirror and think negative thoughts about themselves. They get frustrated when stuck in traffic or speak words to a loved one that don't radiate pure love. These moments are your guru, reminding you of where you still need to grow. Overcoming your triggers facilitates growth, and each time you feel the voice of negativity come through, sing back to it the words of ahimsa, compassion. You'll quickly find these words echoed back by all of those that you encounter.
That's awesome. Very nice. And that's all about that self-love, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, and letting loose of that guilt so you can live spontaneously and free and with joy. Yeah. Anything else that you have?
Yeah, just if you're ever going to break that cycle, you just have to stop being mean to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Love yourself. Want this for yourself.
You're worthy.
There it is.
Yeah, you're worthy of love, and you're worthy of self-love. So yeah, that's what we're seeing for you, Group 3. Thank you so much. Good luck to you.